Let's get this party started, y'all. Once again, let me get my mic right. Get everything tight and hooked up. And we're going to be good to go, y'all. Another episode of the Foolish Show podcast. We live once again. Hope y'all having a great day and a great night wherever you at, wherever you tuned in at. Y'all know how we do on the Foolish Show. We talk that talk, but we walk that walk. Talk about real life stuff, man. But we try to spread love and positivity while we here. All good vibes, man. So we're going to turn up in a minute. Y'all go ahead and lock in. Jump in that live chat, man. Let's get it started. We're going to get crunk in a minute. Go get that mixtape. Foolish, let the swag talk on all platforms.
Here I go, where you at? 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 Here I go.
Mixtape available right now, y'all.
Where you at? Stop playing. You don't want no smoke, no smoke. Here I go, where you at? 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 Stop playing. You don't want no smoke. Cooler than a fan, colder than a freezer.
We gonna get lit tonight, man.
Yeah, straight crash, shine, hit the jack, blood gushing red. They'll shoot you dead, and beat you up with them dreads in your head, enough money for everybody don't understand why you niggas wanna be, everybody wanna be tough until you 6 feet deep, everybody hating. It must be a disease where I'm from, on the bottom of the map, Florida, niggas popping pills, they busting caps.
We just getting started, y'all. Jump in that live chat, hit that thumbs up button. Reality talk, man.
Ghetto boys like rap a lot. I don't like hoes who like to talk a lot.
Internet checking in.
Like I'm trying to push weight. I need me a pound. I'm talking about the cake. Here I go, where you at? 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 Stop playing. You don't want no smoke. Here I go, where you at? Here I go, where you at?
Here I go.
Where you at? Here I go, where you at? Here I go.
Let's get it popping, man.
Where you at? Stop playing. You don't want no smoke. Here I go. Here I go. Here I go. I'm right here, man. I go. I'm right here. I go. I'm with my here I go. Where we stop playing. Where we don't want no smoke.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome y'all to another episode of The Foolish Show. I am your host, F to the Ish Foolish, representing reality music entertainment. We back again, y'all. Thank God we done made it to see another one. Hope everybody had a good day, good Monday, or good night, wherever you tuned in at. Go ahead and get relaxed. Live chat will be wide open. You can always join the show. You know how we do it over here, man. But tonight, we're going to start off by, let's talk about this. Because I heard that it was on the news today that a 67-year-old woman had twins. I'm going to say it again. So in case when you watching this and you say, what did he say? Yeah, I said it. A 67-year-old woman had twins. Now, that made me start thinking, so when is it too late to have kids? I guess it's all about your body. Because everybody's body ain't the same. I guess if your body is healthy enough and your eggs still hatching and them soldiers still marching, still can bring a life in this world. I guess as long as your heart is beating. So it's no mystery that things like this can happen, but you just rarely hear it. Not only did she have a baby, she had twins. That's a blessing in itself. So that goes to show y'all that anything is possible. If a 67-year-old woman can have twins, anything is possible. So I guess it's how healthy you is, how much you maintain yourself, and if you're still alive at that age. Because we're not guaranteed to make it to see that age. What we're talking about now is we starting to show off by I was informing them some news today that I don't know where she was from, but a 67-year-old woman had twins. So that made me start thinking, when is it too late to have kids? When is it time to say, no, I can't have no baby? Because that woman was almost 70 years old and brought two lives in this world. And hopefully they healthy and live to make it see a great life. But that just made me think, y'all. When I heard the news of a 67-year-old woman having twins, anything is possible. I guess it's never too late. A lot of people say I'm too old to have a baby. I don't know. It's all depending on how your body is, what your health condition is, how you maintain yourself, and if you're still living. Because if you still ain't here, if you're gone, dead and gone, it ain't gonna matter. You can't have no baby. But getting that news, that just made me think, y'all. So y'all ever thought about that? When is it too late to have a baby? A lot of people would say in their 40s or 50s or 60s. But this lady was 67 and not only had one baby, but had twins. So that goes to show you that anything is possible. Can't never say what won't happen. Y'all think about that now. Anything can go. Never say what you can't do. Internet said that's too old. But it happened. It doesn't happen. You can't take it back. Can't put the baby back in there. She done did it. So what would you do if you was in that situation? If you was that age and you was pregnant, would you go through with it? It might be a risk even trying to not have the baby more than having. I don't know how it goes with people's bodies, and it depends on, like I said earlier, your condition, your health condition, your history, what runs in your family. So it all depends on you. But that goes to show you that you got to believe that anything is possible. Internet says, I know, but she will be too old to be active in her children's life. That's the sad part. That's true. But the blessing is they here. So whenever life comes, that's a celebration and a blessing. So we have to look at the blessing. Internet says, yes, most definitely, but I wouldn't be trying to have kids at the age I feel that's too old. I mean, everybody has a right to their own opinion. But when I heard that story, that made me think, like, when is it too old? Because if a woman's 67 still having twins, like, I be hearing women in their 40s say, I ain't having no baby, I'm too old to have a baby. This lady, twice your age, and still had a baby. But it all depends on the person. Your mindset, where you at in your life. Do you want to go through with all that? And if so, that's cool. Because, at the end of the day, we all going to get old if you still live to see it. So there's nothing wrong with aging. It means you become wiser, and you means you still here and living. So you got to count your blessings. But I wanted to start the show off tonight with that, y'all. When I heard the news of a 67-year-old woman having twins, that made me think that anything is possible. God bless her. I'm trying to tell you. But switching gears, let's get into these eras, y'all. Let's get into the 90s and the 2000s. Which one y'all think is better? So let's go to the 90s. 90s still got the same thing today. Crime, drugs, sex. But it's just different drugs now and different crimes being committed. Now you got cyber crimes, everybody scamming, scheming. Back then it was just straight robbing and taking. You got different music. What they was talking about then, they're not talking about now because eras change. But which era was the coolest? Which era you prefer? If you lived to see when you was here in the 90s, you witnessed how everything became cool and hip hop started spreading. A lot of different things started happening. But you know, fashion and all that didn't change because back then everything was baggy, saggy. Now everything done got more fitted and tighter. So fashion and all that, it done changed a lot. But everybody got their own style, I guess. To each his own. But if you had to pick which era would that be? I believe in the 90s it was more positivity. People had more in your pocket. Now we living in an era where everything is high. Gas is $5. Eggs is $8. Apartments is $2,000 and something dollars. It don't make sense now as far as in the cost of living. Back then, it was way more cheaper and easier. So the 90s and 2000s, you can weigh out the pros and the cons. They had guns. Back then, there's still guns now. The drugs are basically the same. You still got weed, heroin, cocaine, but now it's more pills, fentanyl, all that other stuff. Internet says the 90s. I agree. Because now it's just too much stuff. See, back then, when you ever heard of kids keep getting shot up in schools and stuff like that happening way back in the 90s? Nobody want to know that. Everybody too busy throwed and high and cool and chilling. Not to say it's not no bad stuff was happening, but still, it wasn't this drastic. Then in 2000, you experienced something you never experienced before, as far as in hardship when COVID hit. There, you scared to go places. They put everybody on house arrest. You was on lockdown. You couldn't move. Nobody experienced that living on this earth. That the government and countries and all this, everybody shut down. So it's a lot of things that came with the 2000s that wasn't too great. But it's a lot of good stuff in the 2000s because we're living in it right now. Look, you got technology. This is the way I'm talking to y'all right now. And y'all being able to talk to me. The technology is great. As far as in what they done did and what they done made. You know, came from them flip phones to the regular square phones to phones can be the size of your hand, or you want to go bigger and you can walk around with flat screens in your hand, basically. And watch and tune in to anything you want. So the technology is great. But that's what it's supposed to happen. When time goes by, it's supposed to get better and better and better. Don't supposed to go backwards. Big Baby checking in. But which era y'all prefer, the 90s or the 2000s? Because we all know things was all different then. The 90s, people went out, they partied. But now people go out and party, but it's always killing. It's always beefing. Everybody on pills, on edge. It's more loose and crazier now, I believe. The 90s had its crazy stuff, but what's going on now wasn't going on then. Now we living in nothing but a scamming age where everybody trying to scam somebody out of something. It's all different stuff going on now. Back then, people pickpocket you and stuff like that. You get all your information. But it's just two different eras now, man. So which one would you prefer? The 90s or the 2000s? Weigh each other out and tell me what you think. 2000 now, it been lit. As far as in things that's going on, technology, all these apps. But I think you can give me the 90s. 90s was a more happier time to me. Now it's just living in a war zone. We in the battlefield. It's not just all about kill, 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 shoot, shoot, shoot everybody. It don't matter who it is. I don't care if I got a problem with you or not, innocent or not. See, now we live in an era now in the 2000s where anything goes. Ain't no more love and all that other stuff. Everything done went out the window. See, we live in an era now where anything goes. So take me back to the good old days. Back then, they had grandmas and all of them who made sure you was straight. They're gonna force you to go to church. You gonna get hit with that switch and that belt. But it made you a better person. It taught you right from wrong. You know not to do that crazy stuff no more. I bet you won't do it. If you keep doing it again, you're gonna know what you're gonna get. But now, 2000, you can't touch no kids. Kids call the police, you gone, child abuse. Then they gonna investigate. Now they all in your business. Now they gonna try to find a reason to take them. If you got more than one. Everything is totally different now. When you go back from the 90s to now, just look at all the stuff that I just discussed. Ain't nothing the same no more. And that a lot of times it can be good and it can be bad. It's good for, like I explained to y'all, the technology and all that, but all that crazy stuff, y'all can have that. Because that's what we got to understand. When we look around, y'all, look what era we living in. Everything is for clout. Everything is look at me. Because social media was born. You got all these different apps. Even love now. Most people meeting and getting love offline. Ain't nobody really going out and bumping into each other no more and seeing somebody at the store. Hey, baby, how you doing? Come here. Can I holler at you? What's up? They jumping in your inbox. Things done changed now. All that face-to-face contact, now everybody video chat you first. Or we gonna send a text. Sure, back then it was way more crazy because all the cell phones and all that and everything you see now wasn't available. In the 90s, you didn't have all that. You couldn't text nobody. They wasn't jumping in nobody's inbox. You wasn't posting nothing. Everything was on Polaroids. If you want memories, you had to collect them pictures. Now it's all saved on data. So the technology has advanced in the 2000s. If y'all just tuning in, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. We live right now on the Foolish Show podcast. We discussing which era would y'all prefer, the 90s or the 2000s? A lot of things done changed, but some things the same as far as in violence, crime, violence, drugs, money. That's basically stayed the same. There's a lot of things are different. It's different styles, a different way of thinking. But back then, they didn't have access to a lot of stuff. Miss Trill checking in. See, back in the 90s, you didn't have that much access now. Because guess what? You can just get on the phone now and Google and say anything. Google, how I make $1 million. Google, how I build a house. Well, no, Googling all that in. All that was just getting started. 2000 hit. And you had them desktops, them blocks with the disc. Wasn't no color. Then they moved on up. Then y'all, everybody when they started made this MySpace. Then when MySpace, that's when everything just started taking off. As far as in social networking. So everything done changed back then. They couldn't do that. You want to go holler at somebody, you got to go find them somewhere. You got to go to the club, go outside, meet them at the store, church, somewhere. Now they can go right to their phone, go to your inbox. Hey, how you doing? Here's my number. So everything's at the tip of your fingers now. That's the good part of living in the 2000s. That could be the downfall too, because you know how some things are just too advanced, and some people just think they're too smart. Sometimes you be too smart for your own good. Because you see how people use social media sometimes to mess their own self up. Then they end up telling on themselves, and now you in jail. And they're gonna use the same thing that you was doing and recording against you. So you gotta remember, man, everything you put out, somebody's watching. So the 2000s is more advanced, but back then in the 90s, I feel like it was more cool. It was more love, even though it was crazy, just like now. Things were a little bit more easier. You had a little bit more money in your pocket. You didn't have to worry about paying $2,000 for rent. Gas wasn't $5. So the 90s and 2000s, it done shift. And it ain't getting no easier for the poor folks. Poor folks had it bad back then, but still, imagine now. When you somebody have to come up with $2,000 every month to make sure your family keep that roof over their head. Back then, rent was like $500. So everything done changed from that era to this era. It's a lot of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff. It's all on what you prefer. The music and all that done changed what we had back then. Tupac and all them, Biggie, Nas and all them. Then you go to now, we got Kodak Black and all these other people, Lil Baby, whatever little artists they want to call that's popping now. Drake, them, Meek Mills. So the music done changed. Food, I don't know about food. I don't know how much food can really change you. People might try to do more now because you got all these cooking shows where people start mixing something up and make it look pretty and add this and add that. Cooking shows back then, they might give you a little taste of this, a little taste of that. They weren't putting all that stuff together they're doing now. So maybe the food, maybe, done got advanced, especially if they making it healthier, but I don't know how they doing it. Is it experimenting? Or they making this stuff in the laboratory or what? Because you can't trust all that stuff either. You don't know what's going in your body. You're just taking the government word for it. But which era would y'all prefer? The 90s or the 2000s? It's been popping now in the 2000s, but it's been a lot of crazy stuff. Been a lot of mass shootings. We done lost so many entertainers. If you back then, you thought Tupac and them was something. Now it done triple, quadruple. Police brutality ain't never went nowhere. No matter what color. We're still living through that to this day. We was getting whooped and beat back then and killed, and we getting whooped and beat and killed now. But they just doing it now where they can get caught on camera. Back then there wasn't no cameras. See, now they getting caught with their hand in the cookie jar. Back then it was just he say, she say, my word against yours, and they gonna take my word because I got this uniform on, I got this star. And that's something that should have changed from back then. How they were screaming F the police back then, but now we in the 2000s and they still have to scream that same thing. Like, how ain't that changed? And they don't understand what it all comes from. It's not just bashing the government and hating those people, but when you keep doing the same thing to people, how you think that's gonna make people feel? That's just like a bully. If a bully keep messing with you every day, are you gonna want to hug and give him a kiss? Do you want to give him a dap? Shout out to Mama Bren checking in. The mother of the show always checking in, of course. Appreciate you. Miss Trill is in. Cha checking in. But which era would y'all prefer? Would you take the 90s or the 2000s? A lot of things done changed for the good and for the bad. Like I told you, now we live in an era where everything's at the tip of your fingers. That's the good thing. You want to know how to do something, you just type it or see it in your phone, and it's going to pop up. Oh, you do your research, do your homework. Back then, you had to go to the library, read some books, or you had to learn from somebody. Everything's more accessible now. But that could be a bad thing too, because guess what now? All this social media networking and all this has allowed everybody into your life. So you got to be careful how much you allow people into your life. Everybody don't need to know everything that you got going on all the time. Some things should be kept behind closed doors. Because do y'all realize most of the relationships that get broadcasted and all on social media, they don't really never last. You think that's a coincidence? Because now people got access to that. So now you got other people looking, okay, that's who you with, that's who you talk to, bum, bum, bum. Now everything gonna come out, you're gonna hear rumors. You gonna say, oh, he been doing this, or he tried to holler at me, or he talked to my homegirl. This is how everything happens now. So everything ain't always meant for everybody to see. Me personally, I can't let nobody all the way into my life. I bring y'all in, but I can't go all the way in. I'm more of a private person. I'm not like that. Social media, the only thing that got me to start opening it up more, because I was not open like that to just everybody being speaking and chopping it up with everybody. I always mostly stayed to myself. But everything happens for a reason. We're here today. So what era y'all taking? The 90s or the 2000s? If you had to live your era in your life in one era, and you had to pick out the 90s and 2000s, which one you doing? Would you rather live with all this stuff that you got now, or would you want to go back then? It's all on what you prefer. Some people might like everything that's popping now and what we got now, because you got technologies. You can just go get whatever you want done to your body or whatever you want to do and all this other stuff. All that just wasn't going on. All this technology wasn't developed back then. So it's all on what you prefer. Me, I'd probably take the 90s. It was just way more love, way more cooler. Everything now is gang, gang, bang, bang, kill, kill. I hate you, I hate myself. That's what most of I see. So we gotta bridge that gap, of course. Keep trying to tell people, man, love yourself. And keep striving each day, man. We know we ain't gonna never live in a perfect world, whether it was back then or not. It still wasn't perfect. Still was a lot of stuff going on that shouldn't be going on. Still a lot of people losing their life for unnecessary reasons. But then again, they always say things happen for a reason. Sometimes we don't know what that reason is. So I really ain't the one to really question God. What is meant to be is going to happen. Some things are destiny. Like, I believe what we're living in now, in general in life, it's his own destiny. It's just meant to happen. Because if you probably go read all the old Bibles and scriptures, you're going to see that they've been talking about all this. They've been saying that a big old plague was going to hit somewhere and this and that, and you got a sample of it with COVID. So if you think about it, time repeats itself. So it's all on what you going to do with your life while you here. Are you going to waste it or are you going to really live it? What purpose are you going to serve? You can either help it or you can help destroy it. It's simple as that. Ain't no whiz. You got to be a whiz. You either going to help this world or you're going to help destroy it. which side of the fence you gonna be on. So no matter what era we live in, still a whole bunch of nonsense going on, still a bunch of hating and fighting, drug abusing, still people getting molested, still people getting kidnapped, and still people getting raped. There's still all the bad and crazy stuff going on, no matter what era it is. So it all depends on what you prefer. So the 90s or 2000s, y'all, I want y'all to ask yourself that question. Which one would you prefer to live in? Would you take living in this era right now with all the things that's going on with mass shootings and shooting in schools, and you would take that? Or you would take living in an era where you had a little bit more money in your pocket, you had grandma and all of them, everybody was happy, family reunions, cookouts. It's the good old days is what they call it. Now everybody, family ain't family. If you look at different families, how many families really have family functions and see each other? Most of the time now, we only come together as families only at a wake. You'll see your cousin them at a wake before you see them on the weekend. You'll see auntie them at the repast before you see auntie sometime during the week. So that's why I say I feel like family ain't family no more, because ain't nobody connected. That tree has disconnected because big mama them gone. See, great grandma them the ones that laid the foundation. So when God called them home, the young ones, they were so busy doing whatever they doing, they didn't take all in the lessons that big mama them would pass down and showed y'all how to keep that family tree going. Everybody started just doing stuff for themselves. I'm just doing for me. I'm gonna do for my kids and this and that. It wasn't about us anymore. That's what we lost from back then when we had great grandma them. They kept the family together. See, now ain't no structure in the family nowhere. Everybody just doing whatever they want to do. Forget family. I'm just worried about me and mine. See, back then, grandma them made it be known that it was us as a family. We're gonna sit down and eat as a family. We're gonna pray as a family. Somebody jump on your cousin, you got their back. Somebody try your sister, brother, you got their back. And y'all riding to the end. That was the good old days. See, that's what's different now. Now we go 2000s. Grandma and them still trying to be thick and be popular, trying to get likes and views. Grandma and them still in the club because they ain't too old. They probably in their 30s and 40s. They just in cougar mode right now. So it's different eras. See, back then, great grandma them, big mama them, they laid that foundation down. Hey, y'all gonna pray together, y'all gonna stay together, y'all gonna have each other back. Now we live in the era of the 2000s where anything goes. It's everyone for themselves. And that's the disconnection that they have now. That's why you don't see families structured no more. Ain't no real family. When you see families just out now, not too many times you just see whole families out or having big old cookouts. You gotta think about it. Everything done changed because you done took great grandma them out the picture. And that's who laid down the foundation. And a lot of the ones under her, they didn't take in that knowledge. They weren't paying attention. They were busy thinking about themselves. It wasn't about us. Back then, it was about us as a family. Now everybody is me. Ain't no us, it's me. So that's how life done changed. That's how everything done changed now. Back then, if you need a favor, ain't no problem for somebody to look out for you. Now, if you do a favor for somebody, they gonna put you on blast. They gonna say, hey man, I gave him $500. He ain't never pay me back. They gonna talk about it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Back then, yeah, I pay you back when I see you. You can put that on the internet and all that. Whenever I see you, I'm gonna pay you back. I give it back to you when I see you. Now that you get put on blast. Everything is more wide open now. Ain't no more secrets. Because you gotta remember, as long as people got these devices, they recording everything. So you don't never know when you're getting recorded. It really ain't no conversation safe no more because everybody can record it. Everything you saying. Back then, you was worrying about the FBI and all that doing that, but people weren't really doing that to each other. But that's what I tell y'all, it's different eras. See, now in 2000s, man, what we living in now, and what started is like, ain't no more morals. All the morals went out the window. Ain't no principles no more, no values. They don't value life. They don't value that chain of command. Like I said, it's certain things that you're supposed to always make sure that's good, that's protected. You protect the kids, you protect the elderly. Now, they don't give a doggone about the kids or the elderly. You can find a video right now where they done pushed the old lady down and snatched her purse, or punched the old man in his face and took his wallet, or stole his car. What'd that tell you? So that goes to show you right there that a lot of values and principles have went out the window. Ain't nobody standing for nothing no more. Some things shouldn't even ever go down. Especially kids that's innocent, who just getting on this earth. They don't know nothing. They don't know no better. And you gonna do the elderly like that? When that could be somebody, grandma or mama? You ain't got no heart that you would take from an old person. Just think about what the life that people live, man. That anything goes now. Where are the standards and values anymore? Do we have them? Do anybody stand up for something? Do you believe in anything anymore? Or we just live where anything go, every man for himself, only the strong survive. Kill or be killed. See, back in the 90s, it was so crazy, but it wasn't this crazy. When I went to school, most you got to worry about is the dude's going to jump you, man. He's going to have his homeboys, he's going to have his cousin in. Now, it ain't really worth getting in the fight. Because most of the time, the person that lose the fight going to come back with a gun. Ain't nobody taking no behind whooping no more. They're going to go back and get their gun, or they brother them gun or somebody's gun. See, back then, y'all, hey, meet me after school, or you meet me wherever at the park. We're going to scrap it out till we get tired. Then we're going to dap it up. And tomorrow, we drinking a soda. Today, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to get my gun. Everybody on edge. Quick to take somebody's life. Beating somebody up and taking somebody's life are two different things. You beat somebody up, if you don't beat them to death, at least they'll be able to heal. At least their wounds can go down. When you kill somebody, ain't no coming back from that. Ain't no turning around from that. At least if you beat them up, they can heal up and you can get a chance to say, hey, I'm sorry if you in the wrong. If they deserved it, then that's another different story. If they try to take something for you or harm you, you reap what you sow. But that's the difference, y'all, in these different eras. You can give me the 90s. It was crazy back then, but it wasn't this crazy. Let's switch gears to our last topic. I want to know, what would y'all do if you lost it all? What would you do? If you lost everything, if they took away your house tomorrow, they took away your car, you have no cell phone, you had to just start over, period, from scratch. What would you do? How would you react to that? Would you spaz out and just lose your mind? Because a lot of people will be suicidal. A lot of people will feel they won't want to die. Because a lot of people that had money and was millionaires that don't kill themselves because they didn't have it like that no more. And they couldn't live with that. But we got to remember, material things going to come and go. It's got to always be replaced. You always get a new car. You can always get another house or apartment if you save up some money. Miss Trill says, start over. I lost it all before, so it's nothing new. See, a lot of people, I like how you look at that, Miss Trill, but a lot of people want to kill themselves. Some people say, I can't go on. Some people can't face it. Some people don't want to go on through that struggle. So they got to understand that it's not going to rain all the time. The rain, when y'all know it rain forever, the sun going to come out sooner or later. The sun will shine, but you got to weather that storm. So if y'all just tuning in, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button. And what we talking about now is, if you lost everything, you lost it all, what would you do? If everything was taken from you, no phone, no house, no car, no nothing. Shout out to Keystar checking in. What would y'all do if y'all lost everything? Would you kill yourself? Or would you just try to pick yourself up and live one day at a time? Would you just go to the process of living one day at a time and just trying to slowly get everything back? Or will you be like, man, it's too much. I don't want to be here no more. That's it. What would you do if tomorrow you couldn't wake up in that house, in that bed? If that house, everything was gone. You ain't had no car out there to go to and just go back and forth. If your bank account said zero, not even $1 in it, what would you do? I want to know, what would y'all do if y'all lost everything? Would you be able to survive? What would your way of thinking be? Where would your mind be at? How would you take that? Because I know a lot of people will break. A lot of people say, I don't want to be here no more, and call it quits and kill themselves. But it's not worth it. You got to weather the storm. You name me when it rained all the time. Name me one time that wherever you was, it rained the whole entire time, never stopped, period, not once. The rain gonna stop. The storm gonna pass over, the sun gonna come out. But you gotta weather that storm. You can't let the storm get to you. And it's better, easier said than done, because if we was in that position, you gotta think about it. You sitting there, you ain't got nowhere to go, you ain't got no car. You can't just go grab what you want to eat. You starting from scratch. What you gonna do with that? What's your process in your mind is like? How would you handle the situation? Because I feel like it's gonna either make you or it's gonna break you. What you gonna do? You was put in that situation when you lost everything tomorrow. Would you be able to maintain a decent mind? Or would you lose it? Would you let all the love for material things, which we all know is convenient for us, and we thank God for it. We thank God for a bed. We thank God for AC. We thank God for being able to eat food. But what if all that was just taken away and you had nothing? How would you take that? How would you let that affect you as a person? Would you be able to make it through that and still be standing at the end of the day? Or would you fall by the wayside? What would happen to you if you lost it all? A lot of people lose their mind and kill themselves, y'all, I'm telling you. Because they can't do it. They feel like, oh, I can't do it. Oh, why I'm here? I ain't got nothing. You got to always try to take something positive out of whatever situation you're going through. Well, I'm tell y'all one thing about problems. I'll tell y'all this secret about problems. Y'all listening? Everybody got them. Don't let nobody fool you like they ain't got no problems. Everybody got problems. Some people might not talk about them. Some people know how to hide theirs better. But everybody got problems. So don't never think that you're the only one walking down that path with problems. Problems is everywhere, all around you. Every day something's gonna go wrong. You might be heading to work and get a flat tire. That's a problem. You might have left your card somewhere and somebody got your bank card. That's problems. You know, you can call and shut it off, but still, there's still problems. You still gotta go get another card. You might have lost your driver's license. You might have got a ticket. Everybody got problems, some kind of problems. Your kids might be giving you problems. Life might be giving you all type of problems. But it's all about how you handle it. So if you lost it all, what would you do? How would you let that affect you as a person? Would you be able to stand in the paint, or you gonna crash? A lot of people won't make it, y'all, because they won't know what to do. But me, I feel like we came from the rut. I came from the muck. I came from the bottom. So I gotta get it. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. That's what we grew up in. We didn't have it like that. We wasn't poor, but we wasn't rich. We couldn't get everything we wanted. Mama told us no a lot of times. So you gotta embrace the grind. Just like right now in life, whatever you're trying to do, embrace the challenge and look ahead on and say, okay, I got this. You might be going through a tough time right now with your kids, and something might not be going right. You could be going through a custody battle or anything, but you gotta look in the mirror and say, I got this, and God got me. See, faith is a strong thing, y'all. Why you think they tell you if you believe, you can achieve? You gotta believe it. Y'all realize when people say you speak things into existence, that's not just no saying. But they tell you that in the Bible, the tongue is a powerful thing. You can speak things into existence. So it's all about how you want to live your life. Take the good with the bad. But if you lost it all, what would you do? If you had to start from nothing, which way would you turn? Would you start acting crazy? Would you want to kill yourself? Would you start robbing and killing? Would you go try to take it for somebody? Would you break in somewhere? Would you risk your freedom? What you gonna do? How are you built? See, a person's character show you how they built, not their status, not their money. How they built inside gonna show you what kind of person they is. All that other stuff just help cover up certain things. You judge a person on their character. Because most of the time when you look around, a person's gonna always show you who they is. They will always show you their true colors if you give them a little time. So embrace life, embrace the challenges, never give up, always have hope. Today might not be going good for you, but who said tomorrow ain't? You might have had a bad week last week. This might be your week. It's all about keep pushing to the next day. Long as your heart's still ticking, your eyes wake up, you got another 24 hours to make something shake. You can't let the past mess up your future. I always try to tell people that. Leave the past where it's at. Move on. Take steps forward. A lot of people still be living and thinking about the past and blaming the past. Sometimes you got to leave it there, even though you know it's going to be in your memory bank, but you got to move on because you stuck. Thinking about the past, you ain't going to never be able to enjoy what's right in front of you. Then next thing you know, you're going to be dead and gone. And you spent most of your life worrying about the past and thinking about what didn't happen. They always say what doesn't happen is done. It doesn't happen. If you make mistakes, you live and you learn. We all do. Because since you're a child, they teach you right from wrong. So everybody know when they're doing wrong or not. That's something you can't hide. You can't say you don't know. You know from a child what's right from wrong. You know that hurting somebody physically and emotionally really ain't right. It's not the right thing to do. We still do it. We still gonna get in the fights. We still gonna talk about each other. We still gonna call names because that's just all a part of life. That's just how life goes. Ain't nothing you can do about it. So understand everything that life is going to throw you. All these different curveballs life going to throw you. You got to be able to stand there and try to hit the home run. But if you lost it all, what would you do? Would you weather the storm? Would you be able to look at yourself and say, I got this. I can make it. And with God, I can do all things. If you believe in that, most of the time it's going to work out for you. But it always comes with faith, y'all. So always keep your faith no matter what you're going through. No matter where you at in your life. Somebody could be watching out there that only got $20 in a bank account. They might have 5 or 10. But it's all right. Because it might get double. It might get triple. You don't know what kind of blessing gonna come your way. Certain things you just can't let bring you all the way down. I know it's hard, especially if you don't know how you gonna eat. Imagine losing it all, you don't know where your meal coming from. You don't know where I'm gonna take a bath at. You don't know where I'm gonna lay at. That's gonna test your mental cycle. If you ain't built for it, you're gonna break. You're gonna say, I can't do this. This is too much. Then you're gonna see all the people that's looking at you a certain way. And they're gonna do nothing but point and laugh at you and talk about you before they try to pull you and help you up. Don't think they're gonna look out for you most of the time. You might have a good friend or family member that might try to help you get back on your feet, but you can't depend on that. So if you lost it all, everything was taken from you tonight. Tomorrow you wake up, everything gone. What would you do? Would you break or would you stand tall? How much would you let that affect your life? How much would you let that get in your psyche? How much your will to live, to keep fighting? How much would you still have that in a tank? Being in a situation like that would test you. You want to know what to do. You don't want to know which way to turn. You have to take it one step at a time. Because you're starting from scratch. So it's like you're trying to climb all the way up this wall. And it ain't no small wall. So it's just all about controlling yourself, doing what you can do. We have to understand sometimes we can't worry about stuff that we have no control over. If you can't really affect it and change it, let it go. Some things are out of control. Especially you can't control how somebody think of you. You can't control what everybody's gonna say about you. You can't control what everybody's gonna do with you. Do to you, excuse me. But all you can do is do you. You can't worry about that. You can't live for everybody else. You gotta live for yourself, y'all. A lot of people still lost. They think they know what life is about. They think they're heading in the right direction. But they lost. Y'all know my motto. It's not about how you live. It's about what you give. So we gotta try to give as much as love as we can, man. Because we don't know what's gonna be next. We don't know what's gonna happen next. We don't know when we checking out of here, y'all. My mama saying, and I always think about this. My mama saying is, I want my last days to be my best days. And I agree. You want your last days on this earth to be your best days. You want to be able to live in peace and harmony and go out in the sunset. Because imagine it's time for you to check out of here and you in the middle of doing something wrong. Imagine you robbing and killing and you get killed in the process. Imagine you doing something bad to somebody, you get killed in the process. Think about what kind of way is that to die. You went out sinning. So before you do something crazy, think about that. Before you jump off the edge, think about what if you died right now? How do you want to be judged? No, we gotta look in that mirror, man. Look in your mirror, wipe your mirror off, clean your yard, and stop looking over the other fence. Because only you can control your soul. Them over there, they can't control your soul. You can. You control your actions. They can't control your life unless you let them. People can call you what they want, is what you answer to. As long as you don't answer to it, who cares? It's words. You give people how much power, you give the haters how much power you want them to have. If you take the power in your hands and say, hey, I don't care what y'all say. I know what I'm doing. I know why I'm here. I know what purpose I serve. If you know who you are and how you built, you will never let nobody take you out of your zone. You will never let nobody steal your joy. You will never let them take your happiness. Because some people want to see you down. You got to remember, just because you got a boyfriend or girlfriend or you got a husband and all that, don't mean everybody happy for you. They might not got one. So they might not be happy. They got to go to bed lonely. They ain't got nobody to talk to. Or they ain't got nobody in their bed with them. So don't assume that everybody going to want the best for you. Don't assume that everybody riding to you and riding for you to the end. Don't assume that everybody got your best interest at heart. Because you're going to realize real quick that they'll do a 360. Friends will turn into your enemies. Be careful who you bring around your circle. But you got to take accountability of your life, man. Y'all got to wipe that mirror off and look at yourself. So you always pointing your finger and worry about on the other fence over there in their yard. Clean up your yard. It's all about working on yourself and control what you can control. Can't control other people's life and what they do, but you can do what you do. As they say, do you. You cannot let what somebody think of you dictate your life or control how you move. Can't get in your brain. You gotta live for you. People like it, they like it. They don't, they don't. They like you, they like you. They don't, they don't. They'll be all right. Everybody don't like everybody. That's the life we live, right? So you take the good with the bad. Y'all hit that thumbs up button, man. We winding down probably the last 5 minutes. But I wanted y'all to think about that. What would y'all do if y'all lose everything? If everything you had was stripped away from you, what would you do? Would you be built for that? Would you be willing to start from scratch and start over? You had no car, no place to go, no credit card, no ATM card, no checks, no nothing. What you gonna do? You gonna break? You suicidal? You gonna go take it? You gonna go hit a bank? You gonna break in somebody's stuff? Or would you take it step by step and day by day and keep climbing your way back to the top? Everybody ain't built for that. Because you know, of course, we want everything to snap our fingers. We want it right now. Like, you know, nobody don't want to really grind for nothing. Everybody want it now. Which I understand. You know, I wish I could press a button and have stuff right now. But guess what, everybody? Y'all know life don't work like that. Life don't work like that. So you got to put that grind in. If you want whatever you're trying to get out of life, you're going to have to grind for it one way or another. You got to put in work for whatever you're trying to get to in life, even in your relationship. If you're trying to really make a relationship work, everybody got to put in that grind. Everybody got to sacrifice something. Time, selfishness, You might have to give up this. They might have to give up that. They might have to compromise on some things. Everything ain't gonna be just smooth sailing all the time, y'all. Always gonna be some bumps in the road. If you want life to be easy, I'm gonna tell y'all, you're wasting your time. Life ain't easy. Life come with problems. We all got them. But it's how you let it affect you. It's how you deal with them. Ms. Trill says everyone have to play their part. You know, that's what I always preach, Ms. Trill. If I got a part to play, life is a cycle. What role you gonna play? What you gonna do? Like I said earlier, you either gonna try to help the world or you gonna help destroy it. It's all on what side of the fence you want to be on. What purpose are you serving? See, a lot of people walk around like zombies, don't even know their purpose. You think your purpose is to wake up and get high all day and shoot guns? You're mistaken. Our purpose ain't to get up and chase women and chase men all day either. A lot of that stuff ain't our purpose. It's just a part of life. But you got to realize a lot of people don't never get to reach or see their potential. A lot of people got a gift, but they let it go to waste, or they might use it in a bad way. Because you got to think about it. Whatever they want to do is always something. Whatever skill you got is something for it. If you like to shoot guns, they got something called the Army, the Navy. You go over there and shoot all you want. You target practice. If they go to war, you can go over there and go to them other countries. If that's what you want to do. If you like breaking into stuff, you good with your hands and all that, go get a job where you got to break into something that's positive. Use that. A lot of people let their gifts go to waste. Because you realize that's a gift. Even if you break into somebody's car, that's a gift. Everybody don't know how to just break in nobody's car and start it up. Think about that. A lot of people got a gift, but they just don't use it. Y'all ever thought about that? Some people good with their hands and they'll steal a car less than 5 minutes. So if you can steal a car less than 5 minutes, imagine what you can do somewhere else and making real money and living your life and can have your freedom. If you like just shooting things and shooting people, you can go be a hunter. You can go to the Army, like I said. You can go to join the police force. You can get in a sniper team. If you like shooting. You letting that go to waste. You around here just shooting and killing people. And gonna end up getting life or the death penalty. That's a waste of skill. A lot of people know how to do something, but they just don't use it the right way. There's somebody somewhere that can sketch and draw. You realize that in this day and era, how much money they can make? With the internet and all that, with they sketching and drawings and all that, if they apply it the right way. So there's a lot of people have a gift and a talent, they just don't really embrace it, or they use it in the wrong way. Some people got the gift of gab. Some people can talk. Do you realize you can get paid a lot of money to run your mouth and talk if you're not doing it the right way? But most people gonna use it in a negative way. It's gonna be blah 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 blah. All that gossip, all that he say, she say, all that da 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 da. But imagine it's ways now. If you not run your mouth, look at Charleston White and all these people that y'all know that are making all this money from the internet, and all they're doing is talking loud and saying outrageous stuff by using their mouth. But most people use their mouth for nothing and just talking, and ain't really talking about nothing, just capping, spreading lies, spreading rumors. Now you could be using your mouth to help feed your family and everything else. So I tell y'all, if you think about everything, everybody got a skill. You're always blessed with some kind of talent. It's just on how you use it. Some of y'all ladies, y'all know how to twist them heads up and make them little braids, and everybody don't know how to do that. That's a skill and the talent. Everybody don't know how to make that stuff go together and look pretty and be good and oiled up and all that. All that is a talent. Everybody don't have that. So it's all about how you use your talent and how you embrace it and don't waste it. That's a rhyme for you. Embrace it, but don't waste it. Embrace your talent. Maximize your skills. You don't never know where it's gonna take you. Whatever you like to do, do it. And you know what we always do? We always put everything out till tomorrow. I do it tomorrow. I start on that next year. Next month, I'm gonna do this. Time is ticking, y'all. Y'all think about this. Imagine your body is a bomb. It's a bomb inside, and time is ticking. One day it's gonna explode, and you're gonna be gone. Boom. You're gonna die. Life is over. So time is ticking. You're on the clock, everybody. Anybody that watched this, I want y'all to know you're on the clock. Time is ticking. There's a bomb inside. It's gonna go off sooner or later. You're not gonna be here no more. So what you doing? What purpose are you serving? What we doing out here in this world? Why are we teaching the next generation? Which way we going? Are we gonna kill each other off? Or we gonna try to bring a little peace and harmony in the picture and spread a little love? What we gonna do, y'all? I just wanna know which way we going. Which way should I go, y'all? I know which way I'm gonna keep going. But I appreciate y'all, man, tuning in once again. You can always rewatch the show on YouTube. We're gonna always come on here and talk that reality stuff. No sugarcoating nothing over here, man. But a little recap. We talked about the 90s and the 2000s, which ones had the best era. You have the 2000s, what we're living in now with all this technology and everything's at the tip of your fingers. And you had the 90s when it was more together and family oriented. You had more families together. Now everything is divided. And then we also talked about a miracle. If you haven't heard, it was a 67-year-old woman who had twins. I'm gonna say it once again. A 67-year-old woman had twins. So that goes to show, man, anything is possible. So that made me wonder, like, how old is too old? When is too late to really have a child? I guess it's not. Depending on what kind of body you have and your health conditions. Guess it ain't never too late, y'all. And the last thing we spoke about is what would you do if you lost it all? If everything you had was taken away from you tomorrow, would you be able to bounce back? Would you survive that storm? Or would you extinct? What would you do? Would you be able to weather that storm? Or would you drown? Miss Trill said, I'm not trying to be that old. That's a miracle. Somebody else earlier in the show said the same thing, but that's a miracle, y'all. That's a blessing. It don't matter really what age it is. If she's still alive and the baby's made it, that's a blessing. I guess as long as your heart ticking and your eggs still hatching and somebody's soldier still marching, you can make a baby. Maybe there's no age limit for real. Because that's almost 70 years old. And she didn't have just one, she had twins. But I get it though. Most people is not gonna go through that, especially if they live to see their age. They don't say, I'm too old for this. So I get it, Miss Trill. But it's a blessing and it's a miracle. It just goes to show that anything is possible. Ain't nothing that God can't do, everybody. In case you don't know, you witnessing it. But we had a great show tonight. Y'all hit that thumbs up button, share this on your platforms, all your social media. Make sure y'all go get my new mixtape if you ain't did it yet. I don't know what you're waiting on. Straight fire, foolish, let the swag talk. Available on all platforms and livemixtapes.com. That's how I go. Grab that merch, man. Y'all go to reality /music/ don't get me to lie to y'all, but Google it and pull up my merch. Reality Music Entertainment / Spring. There we go. Order y'all some hot gear. But remember, y'all, we got to stay positive out here. We got to keep our head up. We got to keep pushing. One day at a time, that's all we can do. But serve your purpose, man. Don't forget. Some people don't even know who they are, man. Go look in the mirror and find out who you is. What purpose are you serving? Some people just here in the way. Some people just causing destruction. Like I said earlier, you either going to help this world or you're going to help destroy this world. Like, which side of the fence y'all on? You got to remember, it's just other generations coming behind us. Do you want it to be an earth? Do you want them to be able to live? Because we don't stop all the madness, it ain't going to be no earth. It ain't going to be no us, no nothing. Think about the next 30 years if all this don't never stop. If all this violence don't never end and that don't ever change, who going to be left? Or it's going to just be like a war, a battlefield every day. Everybody walking out the door scrapped up like Call of Duty. Just think about what kind of world we could be living in. So we need to think about that, take that with a grain of salt and understand that we all got a role to play. Don't think you don't got a role to play. Everybody got a role to play in life. It's just how you going to play your hand. It's what you going to do with it. Life is what you make it. Life is not about excuses. Because if y'all haven't realized, ain't nobody going to care. Ain't nobody going to feel sorry for you. Unless you're a child. Most of the time, they ignore a kid. So ain't nothing going to be handed on the plate most of the time for you. You got to realize whatever you want, you got to work for it. Whatever you want in life, you're going to have to grind for it. You trying to get to a certain status or whatever you're trying to do, you're going to have to grind for it. But don't lose sight. Don't lose sight of what life is all about. Don't just be having dollar signs in your eyes and let that be the main focus. Because money will steer you in the wrong directions a lot of times. Don't let that be the end all be all for you. Do we need to pay bills and do all that? Of course we do. But don't let that control everything you do. Because that means you can be brought. I can't be brought. Ain't no money nobody can offer me to buy me. To me, if it's something that I don't believe in and I don't stand for, ain't no price you can offer me. But a lot of people can be brought because they'll sell their soul. I ain't selling that. I will always stand for what I stand for. I'm gonna always walk how I walk until I'm done, until it's time for me to hit it. That's just how I go. But we had a great show tonight, y'all. Hit that thumbs up button. We're going to be back on the air Wednesday night. Talking that talk, walking that walk, that reality talk on the Foolish Show podcast. I appreciate all the love and support. Y'all stay safe, stay positive. I hope blessings come y'all way. And just keep a good mind frame, man. Don't let nobody kill your spirit. Don't let nobody steal your joy. Smile. Be happy. You still here. You still living. You still got another chance to do something. I'm going to see y'all Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Go get that mixtape, Foolish Let the Swag Talk. Available on all platforms, Spotify, Apple, live mixtapes, Amazon. Let the Swag Talk by Foolish. Go get that mixtape. Support the hustle. Grab some of my merch. You can Google it, Reality Music Entertainment, and grab my merch. Get you some hoodies, hats, shirts, whatever you need. Stuff for the house. Cell phone cases. We got Reality Music official merch available now, y'all. Y'all have a blessed night. Catch y'all Wednesday night, man. Same channel, same time. One love.